Measles Now an imminent global threat. Violent protests at Apple's iPhone plant in China. Election crisis continues in Malaysia. Lawmakers get access to Trump's tax returns. Pope sacks leadership of worldwide Catholic charity. World's most expensive drug climbs to $3.5 million a dose. China resumes streaming South Korean content. Ukraine searches Monastic complex for Russian operatives.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's Thursday, November 24th, and here are your top stories. On Wednesday, the WHO and the US CDC said there is now an imminent threat of measles spreading in various regions globally, as COVID-19 led to a steady decline in vaccination coverage and weakened surveillance of the disease. The Indian media reported that the local health department of Maharashtra said on Thursday that the region has reported that out of 503 cases of measles so far this year, 8 people have died.
The WHO and the US CDC said a record high of nearly 40 million children missed a measles vaccine dose in 2021 due to hurdles created by the COVID-19 pandemic. The WHO has already seen an increase of large disruptive outbreaks since the start of 2022, rising from 19 to almost 30 by September. According to data from the local health department till September, nearly 174,000 children under the age of 5 in Maharashtra had missed their scheduled vaccination against measles.
Bloomberg reported hundreds of workers at Apple's main iPhone making plant in Zhengzhou, China, clashed with security personnel in the early hours of Wednesday due to tensions boiling over after enduring almost a month of tough restrictions intended to quash a COVID outbreak. Videos streamed out of dormitories at the Foxconn Technology Group plant showed workers jostling and pushing past the white-clad guards. Several white-suited people pummeled a person lying on the ground with sticks in a video clip.
According to videos sent by a witness of portions of the protest, onlookers yelled, "Fight, fight, the police hit someone," as throngs of people forced their way past barricades. At one point, several protesters surrounded an occupied police car and began rocking the vehicle while screaming incoherently. According to the witness, the protest started overnight over unpaid wages and fears of spreading infection. They said several workers were injured and anti-riot police arrived on scene Wednesday to restore order.
After the leading two contenders failed to win a majority in last weekend's election and the king's proposal for the two to work together was turned down, Malaysia's King Al Sultan Abdullah on Wednesday called a special meeting of his fellow hereditary sultans to discuss who should be prime minister. The palace said in a statement that the Council of Rulers, which includes the heads of all 9 royal houses, will meet on Thursday to discuss the formation of a new government.
In last Saturday's election, the incumbent Barisan Nasional coalition won only 30 seats, but was expected to play a pivotal role in deciding who would form the government, as its support was needed for both opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim and former Premier Muhyiddin Yassin to reach 112 seats. Anwar's coalition won the most seats in the Saturday election with 82, while Muhyiddin's bloc won 73. They need 112, a simple majority, to form a government, but Barisan refuses to align with either party. Now, the Council of Rulers must decide on how to proceed.
The U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday cleared the release of Donald Trump's tax returns to a House of Representatives committee, handing a defeat to the Republican former president. The justices denied Trump's October 31st emergency application to block a lower court's ruling that upheld the Ways and Means Committee's request for his tax records as a justified part of the panel's legislative work. No justice publicly dissented from the decision. Trump had called the Democratic-led panel's request politically motivated.
However, the House committee, which has sought 6 years of Trump's tax returns spanning 2015 to 2020, will have little time to complete its work related to the returns before a Republican takeover of the House. Republicans secured a narrow majority following the November 8th midterm election and will take control of the House and the committee in January. A trial date for next year was set in a civil lawsuit by New York State's Attorney General accusing Trump of fraudulently overvaluing the company's assets and his net worth.
Struck 它是 strike 这动词的过去式 ，strike deal 就是
学习，享受一个人的美好时光。FUNDAY 英语。
In a surprise move, Pope Francis Tuesday fired the entire leadership of the Roman Catholic Church's worldwide charity arm, Caritas Internationalis, following accusations of bullying and humiliation of employees, and appointed a commissioner to run it. The charity's new commissioner, Pier Francesco Pinelli, has a background in management and business administration at large companies. According to the Vatican, his appointment, along with a new team named by the Pope, will provide stability and empathetic leadership to the organization.
Due to deficiencies noted in management and procedures, which seriously harmed team spirit and staff morale.
Reuters said that Caritas Internationalis is a Vatican-based confederation of 162 Catholic reliefs, development, and social service organizations working in more than 200 countries. The sacking of its executive personnel was announced in a papal decree released by the Vatican press office. A second statement from the Vatican's Development Department said a review of the workplace environment this year by external management and psychological experts found malice and bad management practices at its headquarters.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved Hemgenix, CSL Behring's hemophilia B gene therapy, which is a novel one-off infusion that frees patients from regular treatments. However, the treatment cost $3.5 million a dose, making it the most expensive medicine in the world. The gene therapy will be manufactured in Lexington, Massachusetts by Unicure NV, which sold the commercialization rights for Hemgenix to CSL Behring in 2020. According to Unicure, about 16 million people in the US and Europe have hemophilia B.
Around the world, medical and technological innovations are revolutionizing how some diseases are treated.
The media reported that Hemgenix works by delivering a gene that can produce the missing clotting factor into the liver, where it starts working to make factor IX protein. A key study of the therapy found that CSL Behring's Hemgenix, administered just once, cut the number of bleeding events expected over the course of a year by 54%. It also freed 94% of patients from time-consuming and costly infections of factor IX, which is currently used to control the potentially deadly condition.
On Tuesday, South Korean officials said that China's streaming site Tencent began distributing a film by South Korean director Han Sung-soo, Hotel by the River, earlier this month. They said it's the first such move after Beijing effectively banned K-pop imports amid tension over the thought U.S. missile defense system stationed in South Korea. South Korean President Yoon's press secretary Kim Yong-hae linked the timing of the gesture to a recent summit between South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Now, on the last day of his trip before leaving the G20 summit, President Yoon sat down with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping.
Kim said the South Korean president has stressed the need to promote culture and people-to-people exchanges at the meeting, and the change at Tencent appeared to be a response from Beijing. Yoon and Xi held their first face-to-face talk in Bali last week, during which both sides agreed to boost cooperation. Relations between South Korea and China have been frayed in recent years, following the installation in South Korea of the THAAD system in 2017.
Ukraine's counterintelligence service and police officers on Tuesday searched one of the most famous Orthodox Christian sites in Kyiv, the Security Bureau of Ukraine, SBU. Operation followed a November 12th service at the Perchek-Lavra complex, where a Ukrainian Orthodox priest was filmed talking about the awakening of Russia. The SBU said it was looking into the details of the incident that happened in Perchek-Lavra, where songs praising the Russian world were sung.
СБУ провели обшуки одразу в декількох монастирях Української православної церкви.
The head of the SBU, Vasyl Maluk, said Those who are waiting for the awakening of Mother Russia should understand that this harms the security and interests of Ukraine and our citizens in the conditions of a full-scale war unleashed by Russia against Ukraine, and we will not allow such manifestation. The SBU then opened criminal proceedings because it said propaganda praising the Russian world was heard in the church. The Petrus-Lavrov Monastic complex is a UNESCO-listed World Heritage Site.
FUNDAY News will help you sharpen your English skills and keep you informed about international current events. If you want to know more about our other programs and keep learning about the world's most important topics in English, please click the link in the description below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.